Hi, today I'm going to be attempting my wife's terrarium challenge. A nice little bottle that she's found, wherever she keeps little bottles, with a nice little tight fitting cork, so that should keep humidity in. And it's not a bad size, but the entry point is maximum around about ½ inch. So firstly, I'm going to need a few bits and pieces to start this. I'm going to go with some crushed up lacquer, which is just a kind of clay ball really, and that's going to be on the bottom. And I've got some smashed up roofing slate in this little tub, and hopefully will come in handy, and some various nice lovely lush green mosses and some bitter cress, which I absolutely adore, and a tiny little fern here, if you can see that, possibly, yes. And there's some interesting moss, and we've got some other tamarisk moss in here, and I've got some great fork moss in here which may be being used. So the first thing I'm going to need is to get my clay into this tiny little hole. So I'm going to make a funnel with my hand, and this is going to be the drainage layer. Hopefully that covers it, because I haven't got any more. I'll get rid of that, give that a shake, and that should cover the bottom there. I was showing that in my other camera, because that's how switched on I am. And now we're going to need some substrate. This substrate is one I make myself. It is actually cocoa fiber, peat moss, sphagnum moss chopped up very finely, and a bit of activated carbon that has been crushed, just to stop any nasty smells developing. In fact, I'm going to put that in here, because this looks like a challenge in itself, just getting the substrate in. So let's pop that in there. Make sure we don't put too much in, because it's quite hard to tell, especially with it being dry. It's fluffy because of the sphagnum moss. So I'm going to pop that in here. Now, because there's no mantis or beetles or anything else interesting going in here, apart from plants that is, I don't have to worry too much about the restrictions those animals would cause me. So first thing, give it a spray, and I'm using a funky little chopstick that I hope will go in here, which it probably won't, just to mooch things around a bit, because I want to create a higher elevation at the back, which I'm struggling. So it's time to break out these bad boys, these angled tweezers, which hopefully are what's going to help me make this in the first place. And we're going to push that down, and we're going to make that higher at the back to give us that depth look, I hope, which is pretty awkward in here. I don't know if you can see any of this, but it is pretty bloody awkward. Get that in there like so, and then I'm just going to grab a bit of paper, kitchen roll, fold this up best I can. I have problems getting this in here, never mind anything else. I'm going to pop that in there and attempt to clean the glass the best I can again, and pop it out. This is a bit like shipping the bottle, but there's no sneaky trick for it, so we can't throw them all in and then hopefully pop them up again. With it being so tiny, I think we're going to go with moss, but we're going to have to go with small pieces of moss. So I'm going to break little bits off like this, and I'm going to shove them through the top, and then attempt to arrange them where I want them. I'm going to stick that through there nice and gently, and then get my trusty bendy tweezers and pop this down into there like so. I'm going to repeat that with little clumps, I think, across the front. Have a nice flat bit across the front. If you have it flat across the immediate front, it creates a better sense of depth for anything you have a bit taller at the back. And this is what we want to achieve, I think. I don't know, because obviously this isn't something I could plan, make, empty it and then remake just for a video. It's something that has to be done, and only done once. Let's be honest with the way this is going at the moment, I'm glad. I wouldn't want to do it twice. So let's pop that in there. Let me just check. I have to look at the front here. Get my trusty chopstick down, if it will reach, and push this down into the substrate, because moss likes it quite compact, and I'm incapable of doing that at the moment with this. Push that down, because sometimes moss comes with a bit of a soil layer on the back of it, and I hate it when you can see that through the front of the glass. So I'm going to pop all that down, and now we've got what I can only explain as a lawn at the front. So you have to think about something we've got to put in there right behind that lawn, and that is going to be one of my favourites, which is bittercress, which is a nice little woodland plant. I don't know if you can see that, man. But I'm going to pop that in here. Look at the size of that root on there. And now the fun part is trying to attempt to get this in here, which I want it about here. Whether or not it's going to let me, it's another matter. I don't really want that root exposed, but the thing is with bittercress, it's not really that important, because it will create a root system of its own wherever it is. Have a look at it. Yeah, that's not too bad where it is. And now I've got another little special thing, which is a fern. And I'm going to pop that fern in on the other side, maybe a little further up. Let's try this this one a little further up, I think. Oh, I don't want to damage the leaves on the fern. I don't want it touching that one. Let's have a see. Yeah, I know we got a little fern in there as well. So I'm going to try and put some accent stones in here, which hopefully they'll fit. I made a bottle a while back, and I did this, and the slate got stuck in the neck, and it took a long time to get it out. It's quite fiddly. I don't want to grab the leaves of that, and it's very difficult because I'm looking at the back of this rather than the front of it. So I'm going to put that in there, like so. A quick look, yeah, and get some more, because there's a nice little piece right between them. I want to get that between them. So push that there, try and pop this down there like so. Have a look, what else do I need? I think we'll have another little stone in the other corner. What have we got here? Yeah, that'll do. I'm just going to try and slide it in there. How close did I get? Not very close at all. In fact, I might even have to stay there. Nope, nope, you've got it there where I want it. That's where I wanted it. Next to the bittercress here on the front. I'm going to put another stone in there. Again, drop it in the middle. I'll try to, and fail. This is a lot more difficult than you would ever imagine. especially when I'm watching the screen, trying to figure out where I'm putting these, which makes it even harder. That moss is going to grow there, so I'm going to leave that. Let me have a quick look. Yep, that's not too bad. I might put some more in a minute, but for now, I think a little bit of moss to the left of this fern wouldn't go amiss. So I'm going to use thread moss again. Probably have to use these. And I'm going to pop that thread moss in here and pushing down. Hopefully I'm not squashing any leaves from that fern there. So have a quick look. Not too bad, but it's not exactly where I want it. Let's try these again. Right, a bit more over this way near the fern, I think. Yeah, that's it's coming along quite well. And I think we'll have some height at the back if I can get this in. Let's give it a squid spray. It's got a bit of dirt on it from somewhere. This is rainwater, by the way. This is just rainwater that's been standing for quite some time. So it's tap water, has a few nasties in it that we add for our well-being. If you're American, I suggest if it's tap water, don't drink it. Right, put a bit of that in to get some height there. In fact, I'm going to move that across there to that side. It's hard enough getting these out. This is really, really tiny. So we've got another little bit in the corner there. Right. And now I've got another nice piece, which I'm going to put, I'm going to try to put in the other side. Yeah, let's get them out of the way. I keep picking the wrong ones up. So let's pop this over here. This is very difficult because I can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm going to tilt this a little bit so I can see it. I'm sorry if you can't, but I'll show you, I promise. I have nothing to show you if I can't see it. So, luckily with moss, it doesn't have roots, so sitting it on top of the ground sometimes you can get away with. And there we have one on each side, as you see there. Am I pushing it, putting one in the middle? I think what I'm going to do is cut that stalk off there, just strip that back a little bit. It's a bit big, and then I'll try and put this little leaf in the center at the back, and I still won't have finished. So let's try and pop that in there, and then attempt to get my tweezers out without pulling everything else out. Just wash them again. How are we looking now? So let's see. Oh, that light's wonderful, isn't it? It's really, really shining straight on the glass bottle. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's not too bad, a bit woodlandy. I think what we're going to do now is top it off with some accent stones, which are just, as I said, smashed up slate. Fell off somebody's poor roof. And I'm just going to drop that in, like so, and then see where they land, and then see what I can do with my tweezers by whizzing them around and getting them off the fern for a start. Lift this bit across a little bit so I can see its lovely leaves. Put them at the front there, like so. If you can see any of this. Pop these around here. Get these off the fern. But we still want them there. How are we looking? Not too bad. that fern should, with a bit of luck, grow up a little bit bigger than this. They don't grow that big, this fern. This is a wild fern. In fact, everything I've got in here is wild, including the roofing slate. Nothing is tropical or odd. Let's pop a few more of these down this side, like so. So we got, I think, down this side in the corner, I have to have another little bit of thread moss because I really like it. So let's take the bottom off if I can and try and pop this in the corner here. There, like so. Maybe get a bit more of a mossy look on there. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think that will just about do it. Now, the hard part again is trying to get my grubby little hands out of here. Oh, don't stick to the bloody paper. No, it's going to stick to the paper, aren't you? Pop that round, get this moss back where it should be. Make that go over there, like so, and I suppose there we have a little terrarium. But it's always better if you look at them. Oh, no, in this case it isn't. Well, I'll do a better view on that later. I'm going to add some springtails in here in a bit. I'm still waiting for my colony to spring up, as it were. And that should be it. Pop it on a shelf under a light and we should have a nice little terrarium will grow, and we'll have a look at that again in a while. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all the usual YouTube waffle, and I'll see you again with some smaller things that my wife picked up for £1. So these are awesome. I'm hoping to make a little terrarium in them. Bigger opening, not as much of a struggle. I'll see if I can do that next time. Thanks. Bye.